What's up, everybody? Austen McDaniel here, also known as Pete on Trail. And today I figured I would do a quick video on what I wear while through hiking. I'll be talking about my base clothing as well as my extra layers, and additionally a little bit of some swap out gear that I may have changed out over the course of a through hike. So to start, I'll talk about my hiking shirt. Now my hiking shirt is kind of one or the other. I switch between a button-up shirt and a sun hoodie. When I was on the Appalachian Trail, I used a button-up shirt, and when I was on the Continental Divide Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail, I used a sun hoodie. I really like the button-up shirt because I like to be able to completely unbutton, vent out as much as I want, and still have a little bit of sun protection, some bug protection, and all of that stuff. I also like it because it kind of looks nice. So if you're hitchhiking, kind of makes that a little bit easier. Now, for maximum sun protection, when I stepped out on the Continental Divide Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, I just went with a generic sun hoodie, something like the Columbia SPF sun hoodie. And I found that that was really good because having the hood is really the big difference maker. And having the hood protected my ears, my neck, and my face a little bit better than just obviously a button-up shirt. Now, there are companies that make some good combinations now, like Jolly Gear, or you could just find a sun hoodie that has a full unzip, and that would kind of give you the best of both worlds. So for me, the hiking shirt, I actually don't have a consistent brand or a consistent one that I go with right now. It's just kind of been whatever I have. Now, as far as the shorts, I have been extremely consistent. So for my hiking shorts on all three of my trails, I have used Patagonia baggies. I've only gone through two pairs. So the pair I'm wearing right now, I used on the Continental Divide Trail and the PCT, whereas my first pair made it through the whole Appalachian Trail, but by then they were pretty worn out because I had them for years before that. The Patagonia baggy is really nice because compared to your typical running short, they're a lot thicker and more durable and just more resistant to abrasion. And so I really like that because I like knowing that if I'm sitting on rocks or if I slip or fall or if I'm just sitting on the ground, I'm going to have that peace of mind that my shorts are going to hold up. I like hiking in the shorts because I like having that mobility, flexibility, and also my legs won't overheat. I feel like I always run pretty hot while I'm hiking, and my legs especially will get really hot. Having shorts, specifically a little bit shorter short, has been really nice for me, and I have done that on all of my through hikes. Continuing to move down, I will talk about my footwear, and that is the Ultra Lone Peaks. I have used Ultra Lone Peaks since the version 2, and I just had no reason to change. I've never had any issues, and so I'm not gonna, not gonna fix what's not broken. Some people have had issues over the course of them changing from version to version. I've noticed some of those issues, but it's just not been an issue for me actually hiking and walking and functionality. Some of the durability stuff has maybe lacked, but I feel like they're back on track. I used sixes, the Lone Peak 6s on the CDT, and then on the PCT I used some 7s and 8s, and I was pushing 1,000+ miles on those pairs. However, I am a pretty minimal footwear person in general. I coach tennis for a living, so I feel like my feet are used to kind of taking a pounding every day, and I don't really need the comfort. So I think the comfort for some people might wear out a lot earlier, but for me, I just didn't need it, and the durability would hold up long enough. Part of the other comfort and most important thing with my feet is my hiking sock, which has also been the same over the course of my through hiking career, and that is a Darn Tough sock. And the ones I go for are the crew length. So they're just a little bit above ankle, which is nice because I don't have to worry about any part of my shoe rubbing up onto my skin, causing blisters. And then they're not too long that they're going to get scrunched down and just be annoying. So I just like that length. It's worked well for me. And as far as the thickness, I do use the mid-weight thickness. I find that it gives me just the right balance of being warm enough when I need it, but not being too thick that they're going to overheat my feet. Also, when my sock is a little thinner, I find that they wear out a lot quicker, and because it's thinner, my foot might shift around a little bit more in my shoe, and I don't want to risk that. I don't want to risk blisters. So again, the mid-weight and the crew sock has been the best for me. Darn Tough has been a great brand because anytime you're on a through hike, you can use that lifetime warranty as you inevitably wear through some holes in your socks. As far as mentioning some of the last pieces of gear that I haven't mentioned, I'll talk about kind of my headwear. And so for my hat, I actually use this Appalachian Trail hat on my Appalachian Trail thru hike. And it's nothing special, just a typical trucker hat with the mesh back. And so I like having the mesh back because it allows, a little bit better breathability. That way my head won't overheat. And having just a typical hat compared to a sun hat, I really like, because anytime I'm putting a hood up, I can still have the bill and I can still keep my hat on. So I pretty much always and only hike in a regular hat. As far as eyewear goes, I've been using these Ombros sunglasses. I really like these. I picked them up for the PCT. They lasted the whole way, and then the only pair of sunglasses I have carried on a thru hike and not lost. Not having a band means that you don't really have to worry about breaking them and then having them but them be broken. And because they have this like cordage, I can completely wear it as a necklace. So anytime I'm not using these glasses, they're always worn as a necklace. That way I never lose them and I always have them ready to go. The other thing I wear as a necklace is actually my headlamp. So I picked this trick up from my buddy Strider when we met on the Appalachian Trail, and I noticed he wore his headlamp. And so for the rest of my TripleCrown thru hikes, I did the same. I find that having the Nightcore, the NU25 here, is a good size because it's not too big and clunky, and so it can wear as a necklace without kind of bouncing around or being a problem. I would recommend you swap out the headband though to something that's like a smaller shot cord. That way, again, it just wears as a necklace a little bit better. As far as like my base stuff that I'm wearing, that is it. I don't wear any like jewelry otherwise, or a watch even. I used to hike in watches, and sometimes it would just overheat and cause a rash on my wrist. And it's not really that necessary when I'm already hiking with a phone that can tell the time. So I know a watch is pretty important in the backcountry for a lot of people, but I find on a thru hike, I've not needed one. So to move on, I'll talk about my extra layers. First extra layer, probably one of the most important, is my warmth layer of my upper body. And for me, it is a very generic pullover hoodie. This is a alpha fleece material by Superior Fleece, is the brand, Superior Fleece, and they're in Minnesota. So cool, local to the US. But it is alpha fleece, and so I really like alpha fleece. If you don't know much about it, it is extremely breathable, but at the same time, extremely warm. It's all the fluff of a fleece without all the extra durability factors and stuff like that. It doesn't really need to cut the wind out because you can just use your rain jacket. I have used this on pretty much all my thru hikes, and it's still going strong. So again, I find the durability isn't that much of an issue. The one I have is extremely plain, so there's no bungees on it. There's no extra cordage. There's no zippers or anything like that. So it's been pretty fail-safe. Again, it's just a warm layer that I can pull over my body and know I'm good to go. To keep it extra warm, though, I would need to keep the wind out, and that is where your raincoat comes in. So my raincoat is kind of my final layer. And I don't have that here with me because my raincoat of choice is actually the Frog Togs, which you can buy at a lot of outdoor stores or your Walmarts in the world. You can probably just order them on Amazon, but they're extremely cheap, but they're very good on their waterproofing, and I would say they're equivalent to all the cottage companies and the ultralight ones, and they're also extremely ultralight. Their only con is that their durability is not good. However, they're so cheap that you can buy multiple sets of them before you even get close to the cost of a lot of these other ultralight ones. So I recommend just picking up a Frog Togs and trying it. And if you don't like it, you're not going to be out that much money. I think they're like $25 or something like that. So Frog Togs, typically one or two of them will get you through a thru hike. You'll save a lot of money compared to a lot of these ultralight companies. So Frog Togs raincoat paired with this alpha fleece material pullover, and then having a hiking shirt is all I have for my torso. As far as my head, additional warm stuff, I do always hike in a beanie, and this is a fleece beanie. I don't know the brand of it. I've just had it for a long time. It is a little bit extra big, which I like because I can wear it over my hat without having to take my hat off during the day. And it's extra big as well. So again, if I'm sleeping at night, I can pull it down over my face and get a little bit more warmth. Also to kind of shield my eyes if I want to sleep in and I don't want the sun to wake me up. So having a beanie, I feel like that's an absolute must have. Additionally, to keep kind of upper body area warm, I have a neck gaiter. So this is nice because if the beanie is too hot, you could just use this around your head for a little bit of extra warmth. You can use this if you have longer hair to kind of keep your hair back. You can use it as a sweat rag, and then obviously it's a neck gaiter, so you can wear it around your neck and keep a lot of that heat bottled in that might be escaping through your collar or just around your neck in general. So this one, again, I don't know the brand. It's just a merino wool. Might be Smart Wool is the brand, but it's a merino wool. It's pretty thin, and yeah, I've had this for a long time. A lot of times I just use it as a pillowcase for a little bit extra comfort, but the neck gaiters are really nice. The only thing I have for my legs, and I wouldn't really count this as warmth so much, it provides a little bit, but I use these Enlighten Equipment copper wind pants, and so these are really nice because I think they weigh less than like 2 ounces. They provide a little bit of warmth, but what's nice about them is they can keep the bugs off of my legs when I'm at camp, and if I am sleeping, it does keep a little bit more warmth in, and if I have to hike, I could hike in them, and it would keep my legs noticeably warmer. But again, I don't hike in them very often because they aren't the most durable. I have had this pair for all 3 of my hikes, but again, I don't hike in them. So they're probably not going to get torn unless I just got them torn in town. Because when I'm in town, I do wear them whenever I'm doing laundry. So they're almost like a laundry, just kind of like a laundry pant or town pants. But these have been really great. They're kind of expensive. You could find some dance pants or cheaper ones, but I think having a wind pant is really good. Pretty much all you need. So that's my base, and that's my extra layers. The only thing of extra clothing I carry is an extra pair of socks, because extra pair of socks, pretty self-explanatory. Your feet are really important. You need to be able to swap out if your socks get really gross or really bad. Being able to have an extra clean pair of socks is really, really nice. You can also use them like a pair of mittens in a pinch. I don't carry gloves on trail, so that's actually a nice thing to have if you absolutely needed it. I find most of the time between being able to kind of scrunch my hands up into my sleeves of my shirt or my fleece and then putting them in my pockets of my more durable shorts have been good enough to keep my hands warm enough on trail. If it's getting to that time of the year later in the hike where I need extra warmth, there's actually a really interesting piece of gear I use to swap out, and that is my hiking shirt. I actually swapped my hiking shirt for the KUIU Peloton 97. So this is a pretty popular piece of clothing in the thru hiking world, but it's used as a mid layer, like my Alpha Fleece. I found that it actually works really good as a base layer shirt. Kind of works like a merino wool hiking shirt, except for I think it's a little bit warmer. It's a little thicker, so to me it just looks and feels nicer. And because it's fleece, it's extremely durable. I've had this same one for I don't even know how many years, and I used it for a big chunk of the Continental Divide Trail, and it's still holding strong. So it has a hood. It's got this little bit extra longer collar, so if you need that sun protection, it still has it. It has the thumb hole, so again, sun protection, all that kind of stuff. But because it's fleece, it is noticeably warmer than your polyester long sleeve shirts and sun hoodies. It is not, however, that much hotter when it is hot. So if it's 90 degrees, I found that I could unzip this far enough and that it would vent enough that even though it was hot during the day, I could stay comfortable. But again, it's so much more comfortable when it got cold. I found just having this and my raincoat alone would be good enough for temperatures down to freezing. Anything colder than that, that's where I'd have to go back to putting my mid layer over this. And in some cases, if I'm having this swapped out, I would also swap out my mid layer and go back to a full-on puffy. So my puffy of choice is the Enlighten Equipment Torrid Apex material, so it's synthetic. And I don't have a hood because I already have a beanie and my other stuff has hoods. I don't really need it. But having this synthetic material is nice because unlike down, it's going to still maintain a little warmth even if it gets wet. And also, I don't have to worry about the warmth shifting around. Like down can get clumped. This synthetic material will stay evenly dispersed on the jacket the whole time. So having this synthetic Torrid puffy has been extremely good. I've had this ever since I've been backpacking, and it's worked really well. The zipper is held up extremely well. It's got a full length zipper. It has zipper pockets on the side, which is really nice because, again, if I have to hike in this or it's cold at camp, I can put my hands in the sleeves and then put them in the pockets, and that has been good enough. So really like that. It's also really nice to sleep in. If I need to push some extreme limits of my sleeping bag, that adds a lot of warmth if I'm wearing it while sleeping. The only other thing I will have sent to me on the course of my thru hikes is warm leggings. So my warm leggings are some outdoor research leggings. These are a kind of a grid fleece style. I really like that because they're extra durable compared to the alpha fleece. They're going to be really, really warm, and because they're like leggings that go over my shorts, it's like a lot quicker to take them on and off if I have to during the day. I rarely ever hike them, but when I do, it's nice knowing that I have them. They're really warm, and again, a little bit more durable than using just the wind pants. Or if I were to have like alpha fleece or a puffy legging, I feel like that would be extremely useless for me on trail. But these have been extremely good. So pretty much anytime I have this swap out type situation, I'm having my Kuyu shirt sent to me, so I send this shirt home. I'm having my puffy sent to me, so I send home the fleece, and then I'm having these added to my kit. And that is kind of the big three swap out that I do. So, all right, I think that covers everything. So that's everything I wear normally while hiking. That's the extra layers I have, and then that is the swap out that I do later on in the hike if I have to. If there's any questions about anything I missed, or you have any comments about something that you liked, or maybe you're just interested in, feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more stuff like this, give it a subscribe. That always helps. And yeah, have a good one, and bye.